Yo, what's up? Today we're going through one of my favorite songs on the album. It is Make It Better. It's all about anxiety, and that was something that was impacting me a lot in the album making process and while I was releasing it. So yeah, kind of hits home, and it's a pretty big project. So strap in. So starting off, the first thing you kind of hear is these chordal pad things. We've got 2 octaves going, so I think this is probably the low one, and then a high one. Yeah. So I've pretty much just got those 2 layers kind of running throughout the whole track, kind of moving the energy, kind of doing what a like white noise riser kind of thing would usually do. And that was something I tried to do in a few of the album songs. So yeah, we got it there, got it kind of building up to the chorus, and that break there is where you hear like that bass go like the into the chorus. So originally I had like quite a faster very like housey drum beat. As I produced it, I wasn't super happy with how it was sounding. I knew it could, like, I really liked what he'd done with the vocals, and I just felt like it deserved something a lot more epic. Yeah, I can actually show you. This is the original demo here. So yeah, quite a bit different. In this version, I don't know where I've been. We've got a little diva pad going, which kind of runs throughout. So that's kind of pretty much, it's about all you're hearing throughout. That kind of intro. Originally this song also had like a longer intro, so this was another diva thing that I kind of freezed out, I think, because it was quite like random what it was doing. It has like these waves, I guess you'll hear. So it's like this really long ambient almost intro of just something I made tweaking around in diva. That didn't really stick, but you can kind of hear a little bit of it in that build up to when the first verse comes in. It's kind of reverse, so it's kind of bringing the volume up so you just hear it slightly. We got these like kind of these main melody things, which is diva. This is a very diva centric track. I think it was probably after I just bought it. And I remember that being just like a preset. HS Brazen, go get it. This is my custom diva skin, by the way. Well, I didn't make it, but it makes it look nice and cool. Yeah, it's just playing octaves. It's I've got my flattenator compressor, which just absolutely destroys the sound, pretty much makes it all level. Now I've kind of turned it down a bit, but it's what's creating those weird like trails and stuff behind the notes, because they're already quite long and sustained. But it kind of stops the volume from dropping off a bit, and I just thought that was a cool effect. If I turn it off, it'll be a lot shorter. So I don't know, I tend to use that a lot. I think it kind of makes stuff sound super epic and compressed, I guess. One thing that might actually be hard to pick up is it actually goes half time when it hits the build or the bridge. So this section here, it's actually the same chord progression, but just slowed down half speed. So you can see kind of in the MIDI of all these different synth pads here. So I just don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. That's kind of where the inspiration from, like, the demo name was Don't Forget to Breathe, and it's also to do with like anxiety and just take a chill pill, you know, like chill out, remember where you are. What's the point in worrying about all these things? So yeah, I thought that kind of like halftime thing, that's kind of where you're like, that's the chill out point. It's like everything's going so fast and just slow it down for a sec, you know. But yeah, this build is kind of where it starts getting interesting, at least for me. I've got a wavetable synth. It's just kind of just doing kind of a square-ish kind of wave, and you can hear that auto pan going from side to side. It's kind of doing the similar thing to that I was doing in Runaway, kind of just spinning around the head, getting that spinning kind of feeling, especially in like a build-up or something. I think that's kind of, don't know, cool thing to do. Then I've got a Synth in the right doing a similar thing. So if you put them together, it's kind of now spinning, but as it goes to each side, it's kind of changing the sound slightly. And then I've just got the same diva pad underneath in the middle. One of my favorite things in the in this track is these ARP things here. So this is just like, it's actually the ARP I made for my original demo of Midnight Sun. So when I think I called it Voyager. It was a different song. Basically my song with OTR, Midnight Sun, was 2 demos we'd both made, and we kind of just threw them together. And this one's in there, but it's not super prominent. So it's something I've kind of sampled and reused a few times, kind of in different contexts, which I think is kind of cool. So this is what that sounds like. So it's just been pitched slightly. I remember Midnight Sun's in D major, this one's in D sharp major, so it's gone up 1. I don't know, I really love that, so I've thrown it in kind of a few things now. It's just one of those small little things I feel like kind of bundles my sound together a little bit. I've got a granulator kind of doing a weird thing with an ARP that I'd kind of sampled. I'd made for a remix that will never come out, but it made an appearance here. If we turn that filter off. What else have we got? Just some random percussion. Remember this being a really random like drum percussion I found. And I've just like chucked it through this beats transient thing, so it's kind of going a bit even more crazier, I guess. Now I don't even remember what these ones are. Some kind of ARP as well. Oh, this is kind of the main thing. So the original demo before I had Charlie's vocals, this was kind of like the main part that kind of started right at the start, kind of carried the track all the way through. But I thought once Charlie or Bajillionaire's vocals came in, I thought it was just kind of a bit more interesting to have it a bit more chill at the start and bring these in with the bridge. But yeah, there's just a bunch more divas, bit of echo. I've had to freeze these because Diva's so intensive on the CPU, and it'll probably absolutely crap itself if I unfroze all of these. You can see my computer's already like randomly flashing and stuff. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, I've got a little auto pan trick where it's just kind of volume shaping it into 1/8 notes, which kind of just makes it a little bit more precise, makes it a bit easier to mix as well, because it just kind of, especially with these songs where there's a whole bunch of layers trying to make this big wall of sound kind of thing, it's easy to get very messy very quick. So I try to do stuff like that to kind of just accent It's almost like transient shaping, I guess, but an easier way to do it, or a more concise way, I guess. If your notes are in eighth notes, why not do it like this? Leaves little bit less up to like letting the computer guess what you're trying to do. But yeah, that's about it for that. I've got these other ones which you'll hear come in. There's 2 more divas, which kind of just go up the octave with the same kind of sound. And then this distant pluck is some, I don't know where this came from, some Flume sample by the looks of it. And that's kind of just doing that top end melody. I think there's actually a Synth preset, but I was obviously too lazy to just track down the Synth preset. So there you go. And just a whole bunch of like distortion. Send that EQ absolutely to the moon, and a bit of reverb. What else we got in this chorus? All these main melodies, so obviously like the same ones as the build up. Except now we've kind of got this call and response thing as well. This little like note thing you're hearing, that's actually the text message sound on iPhones. I've always liked throwing that in. Originally it started as kind of a joke because I had a song in C and I did the C, which is what the message tone is, and it used to just make everyone check their phones, which I thought was hilarious. And it's just kind of stuck around in my sample library and I randomly pull it out. But it adds a nice layer sometimes. We got this thing which was just an Electric Mantis vocal sample that I kind of looped and stuff to make this little vocally synth lead. Nothing too crazy going on there. Got a Waves multiband which is kind of pushing that high end. I've got, actually I can definitely unfreeze this, it's just simpler. I've got the glide on down here, 100 milliseconds. So that's what's like blending the notes, where you hear it kind of changing the pitch between notes instead of just being a stark thing. It's actually, what that's doing is it's 100 milliseconds. It's giving between each note to kind of pitch bend between each one. Which you don't really notice so much in the notes that are super close, but when it's like the big fifth kind of jumps, you really hear it. It's kind of cool. And we got one that never made the track by the looks of it. Another layer of that vocal sample. Yep, you see why it didn't make the cut. More ARPs. These are just the big ones that are going down. Simplant, great tool. Echo Blip, great preset, especially when you run it through. Get rid of that low end in the EQ, flatten the hell out of it, compress the hell out of it, and distort it. I don't know, it's such a cool sound. But it's so like organic, but super consistent as well. So it's fairly easy to use and work in. Classic like Porter Robinson, Matty on tambourines. Got to do it. And my old hi-hat, this is the same one I used all in the Calling EP. The Calling hi-hats, that's these. The Gold Hearts hat loop. No idea where it came from, but it's another one that's just kind of stuck around in my sample library and I keep pulling it out. Got some piano. Sounds like the Giant to me, Contact, but I got a few. My favorite at the moment is probably Una Corda, which is like a piano, but it's just recorded, like each note's just got a single string, whereas most pianos, probably can't see in the back, but it's usually got like 3 strings or so. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the instruments, I think. Let me have a look. There is one other cool thing in the instruments, which is this other granulated thing, which was just some other vocal chop. I think it was literally just like a resampled thing from one of my other songs. And this was just me messing around live, so I didn't really tweak anything. But kind of random notes, but I thought they sounded really cool under this second verse. Don't know, just something about it. Sounds kind of cool, like kind of like mystical, and yeah, don't know. It's a cool little thing to go to for a sec in the song. And yeah, I think about all that's left is, I mean, we got some pretty standard bass. There's really nothing crazy going on there. Got like a fake guitar. It's just an Ableton preset, but it's good. Got a silent sub with a bit of distortion and a diva like saw wave. You can hear that nice like filter attack. Some FX, got some like wind chimes and stuff. But super low. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Apart from drums, which was so much fun. I love just like all hard hitting, it's like 4 to the floor. It's more almost like a disco drums kind of thing. And probably one of the funnest bits about it was getting to put in live drums. So I've actually got, for those who don't know, which I guess is probably a lot of you, I've got a manager called Gavin. And he actually drums in Chelsea Cutler's live band. So he's an amazing drummer. He's a rock star in his own right. And he sent us like a few of us in like the management and stuff, some awesome recordings of him drumming. It's all like beautifully mic'd up and stuff. So I knew I had to get in one song, and I think this was the one. There might be one other on the album. There's definitely some other demos I've made that have got him in it. But yeah, this is him smacking on the drums. And if we go into like what I had on the drums, those are Lindrum samples. So I went through a phase where I was really loving them, loving the Lindrum, like this classic kick and snare of like the 80s, I think it is. Yeah, it's definitely 80s. The toms, the big old toms, I think they're Lindrum toms as well. Got this little white noise kind of call and response thing, similar to Equi. But yeah, pretty standard. I think they're nice, but they're quite like, there's not a lot of realness to them. Like all the samples are very similar, and yeah, I thought like it needed something else, so that's why I laid in these drums. I think they're just like adding these acoustic drums made it sound so much cooler. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the drums, apart from like a few random things in the verses, which is just drums but a lot smaller. What have we got? A little kick, some claps and stuff. But yeah, all kind of comes together and made the track as you know it.